Hi guys, we're here with the Ultimate Racing League and this is the Saturday Championship. Now this is round 3 of the multi-class with GR4 cars and GR2 cars. So we're going to have some brilliant racing, especially with it being a multi-class. So we are, as you can see on the map, we are at Trial Mountain. And it should, the lap time is going to be about around 1 minute 46, I believe. I may be wrong. Anyway, so you have that. So they did, obviously, because there was only 9 on the track for this race. It's supposed to be a 20-minute qualifier, but because there was only 9, we shortened it down and just did 15 minutes because it worked out that you could have both on the track at the same time, because you could do about 4 laps before you start coming up to obviously the slow cars, and it worked. So anyway, my kid got pole, Frank got second, Rufus got third, Willard got fourth, and Peter he started fifth. He arrived late, I believe, so obviously he had to start at the back of the GR2s. And then on pole for the GR4s is Hoyland in 6th, Colesberg 7th, Stealth in 8th, and Farrick in 9th. So let's get this race on the way and see how they do for this 15 minutes endurance. Hello, Frank. So anyway, they are off now, racing down towards the first corner. Looks like everyone gets around it all nice and quickly. It's like, oh God, what the hell? See, we already got a lagger in this race. Bloody hell, watching that is gonna really mess my eyes up. Anyway, I'll just try and keep away from that. Anyway, my kid does have the lead still. He's been chased down by the Frank. He's just picked up a little bit of damage. And Rufus there is phasing third at the moment. And while he's watching Frank and watching Willard and Peter. Oh, Rufus goes a bit wide there. That will allow Willard to get past. And as you see, Peter, he's going left, right, and centre, front and back. I'm just going to have to keep up with that as much as I can. But anyway, Hoyland still is in the lead for the GR4s, but he is being chased by a mean old Colesberg in his Electra, I think. There's Stealthy is there as well. And so is Farrick. He's dropped off a little bit, but not too much. But anyway, after lap 1, let's have a look, see what everyone's tyres are on. So my kids obviously started on the mediums, Willard's on the softs, Frank's on the soft, and aka myself, Rufus, started on the hards. So then in GR4s, Hoyland is on the softs, Colesberg's on the softs, Stealth's on the softs, and Farrick is started on the hard, so he's gone for a different strategy compared to everyone else as well. So me and Farrick are the only two who started on the hards. And sometimes it's good to get the hards out of the way because the hards were not that great on this track. When you're looking at my kid, he's already started to get a bit of a gap to Willard here now. Well, not much of a gap, probably about a second and a half, probably, maybe, or maybe less. But Frank's still there as well. He's on the soft, so he's at the moment he's in prime position to get onto the back of Willard and maybe put Willard under some pressure here to take that second place from him. There's Peter again, Slushy there again. with his lag all over the place. And then there's Rufus. I think he went a little bit wide. Did me Rufus go a bit wide there? I think he did. Yeah, he got Rufus got that corner a little bit wrong, went a little bit wide. So he is losing pace on everyone else, but I think at the time when I was doing this race, I couldn't work out why I was losing so much time. But it was obviously because I was the only one who started on the hards, so you're going to lose time. The hards are like 2-3 seconds slower or something like that, I think, than the other tyres. Anyway, meantime, it looks like Willard has actually closed the gap a little. Geez, Willard's definitely trying to close the gap on Mighty Kid here. Looking at their times, Mighty Kid's fastest lap so far is a 39.762, and Willard's is a 39.694. So he is trying to. Oh, he is right behind Mighty Kid now. Mighty Kid must have had a bad corner, the previous corner. And now Willard is putting Mighty Kid under a hell of a lot of pressure. Can Mighty Kid withstand that pressure, or will Willard get past? I believe it is NSX versus Lexus, I believe. I believe that is the Lexus. And Willard is really putting Mighty Kid under pressure here. But in the meantime, you got the Frank. He's closing that gap down on them, making this a three-way battle for the lead. And then you got the slushy there, Peter in full place. He's dropped off a little bit. And then you got the Rufus. He's dropped off a long way, but that's probably because of his tyres. In the meantime, the GR4's Hoyland still leads the way on lap 3-4. The GR4's is great to see him in the lead, because he's usually at the back spinning around. And then you got the Carlsberg. He's dropped off a little bit, but he's got the one and only Stealthy right behind him, challenging him for that second position. They are both on the soft tyre, so there's no advantage for either of them here. And looking at their times, Carlsberg's on a 2:02.3 and Stealthy's on a 2:02.6. But let's just see what times they do crossing the line here. Now, so it's like, oh, Stealthy has actually got a quicker time this lap, so he's got 2:02.3, whereas Carlsberg's fastest lap so far is a 2:02.3 as well. But Stealthy's time is slightly quicker than Carlsberg, not by much, but it is quicker. So Stealthy is pushing, trying to get onto the back of Carlsberg to try and go for a move. And then you got the fact there, he's dropped off because he's purely on the hard tyres. But it'll be fine, because I find with the hard tyres, once everyone else gap right back up again, once the others go on the hards. So Willard has taken the lead off of Mighty Kid. I completely missed. Let's go back and just see if I can find it. Also here, not too far back, it looks like maybe did Mighty Kid get a bad out from these two corners? No, he didn't get too badly. Did he hit the wall coming out? No, he didn't. So Willard's just had an excellent exit from that corner, which has given him the momentum to try and go for a pass. And he manages to get past. Right, so Willard does have the lead now, with my kid dropped off a little bit there now, and he's got the lagging Slushy chasing after him now. With the Frank, he has dropped down to 4th position now. But the fastest lap currently with a 1:39.2 is the Frank. I mean, Rufus there. He said, oh, someone's crashed. Oh, my kid has crashed. He was having a brilliant race up to now, and he's just gone and had a tank slapper and just went bye-bye. Let's see what happened to this. Have a look to see what happened to my kid here. No track control on. Comes around the corner. Ooh, too much. Oh, he's just literally put too much acceleration on. And obviously he's lost. That's really unfortunate for my kid there. He's now lost ground on the top 3 now, unfortunately. So he's going to have to make his way. He's going to have to push that car as much as he can now. So Willard still has this lead with Peter now up to 2nd. And they are now starting to lap the GR4 drivers as well. Obviously, Hoyler's still leading for the GR4s. Carlsberg's still trying to chase him down, get him going blue flags, with Stealthy there as well. And they will, Carlsberg and Stealthy will shortly be seeing the rear ends of the GR2 guys as they try to make their way around them. Peter's just picked up a 2nd penalty. He is trying to think he's got closer to Willard. Yeah, he's closer to Willard here, but he does have a 2nd penalty. So even if he does pass him, he's going to have to serve a penalty anyway. Hey, let's go on board with, I would say me, but I'm not going to do that. Let's go on board with Willard for a lap. As he comes through the last corner. Makes his way down towards down the straight, past the start-finish line, down towards the first corner. This is quite a quick corner. This is a few corners. They can get a bit scary sometimes for some people. But he makes his way through the first tunnel, trying to do just all he needs to do. He actually has a gap now to Frank, who is in 2nd. We do have some guys, so Carlsberg and Farrick have gone into have pitted now, and so is Stealthy as well. I think Hoyland's the only one who hasn't pitted yet. Willard bombs it down towards this next corner. Gets around these few corners very nicely. So anyway, Frank is the first person to pit for the GR2s. And that is a lap with Willard. Superior is there now, still in second place, still trying to chase the Willard down, but there is a big gap there. And then the Mighty Kids, he's now up to third position, with Frank going into the pits, but he's still a bit of a way back. Rufus there is up to fourth now, with Frank dropping down to fifth. He is currently changing his tyres. He's on soft, so he will now be going on to the... Just stay with him and see what tyres he goes on to. So Frank has come back out on the hards. Ooh, he's got that one a bit wrong by the looks of it. Rufus is still out on that pace, still on the hard tyres. I think he's trying to go as far as possible on those hard tyres before changing, maybe. I think maybe he may have gone a few too many laps on those hard tyres. He probably could have come back on a faster tyre sooner, maybe. Anyway, so Willard's going on for another lap. He's still got plenty of fuel. He's still got half a tank. The only thing that's running down is his tyres. So he might get a couple more laps out of those tyres, maybe. Looking at Piers, he hasn't actually used as much tyre wear. He hasn't used as much tyre wear as Mighty Kid has. So Mighty Kid, well, no, I said Mighty Kid, I mean, he hasn't used as much as Willard has used. And there's Mighty Kid there. He's good on his tyre wear because he's on mediums. And Rufus, obviously, he's on hard, so he hasn't used hardly any tyre wear. And then there's Frank there. He's now on the hard tyres. So this is going to be the question. Rufus was well behind. Once Rufus goes on to the faster tyre, will he be able to reel Frank in? That will be the question. Hoyland there, he's still going. He's stayed out, hasn't pitted yet. The others have, so he's got a big lead over Colesberg, who's there in second place. Colesberg, Stealth. Well, Colesberg has gone on to moved on to the mediums. Stealth has opted to go to the hards. And Farrick has gone on to the mediums. And here come the blue flags. Looks like there's just about to... Oh, so no. Willard is the first... Well, not the first person, but the second person to jump into the pits. With Pia following along suit. That's going to allow Mighty Kid to retake the lead now. Will Rufus be able to get up into second place before Willard and Pia get out? Well, as Willard and Pia haven't even hit their pit boxes yet, I would probably say yes. Willard's just hitting his pit box now, so yeah, I'll definitely say Rufus will get up to second for the time being. So these two are just filling their tanks up currently. So, yeah, Willard and Pia are off on the way they go again. Willard has come back out on the mediums, and Slushy's come out on the mediums, and he's picked up a 3-second penalty for crossing the penalty line. Anyway, so Hoyland, he has decided to finally come into the pits to get off of those soft tyres. Just waiting for Hoyland. Hoyland's just hitting his pit box now. Will Colesberg be able to take the lead here? Will the fact that Hoyland stayed out a little bit longer? So I think so. Hoyland's on his way out now, and looks like is Carlsberg going to do it? No, Hoyland has come back out in the lead for the GR4s, and Carlsberg is right there. But now, because Hoyland's come out on the hards, Carlsberg's on the mediums. Carlsberg's going to have the advantage here. He's going to be in the faster tyre. And Rufus has got in the pits now as well to get off those hard tyres finally. The question is going to be, how far is he going to fall behind? Where is Frank? Frank's just come out of the final corner now. Rufus is in the pit box getting his tyres changed. And refueling now. So at the moment, let's look at their times. So at the moment, Frankie is doing 141s to 143s. Rufus was doing 141s. His fastest lap was a 141.5. Frank's just did a 143 not 43.9. 141.7. Let's see. Yeah, so something along the lines of that. So let's just see what Rufus, when he sets his first fastest lap on the soft tyres, let's see what tyres he is, times he set in, to see whether he could close that gap on to Frank. But anyway, Mike Kidd still has the lead. He hasn't pitted yet, and he doesn't need to. I think he's going to try and go until his fuel tank runs out, possibly. But he does have a good lead over the Willard there in second. And then there's a Slushy there in third, going a bit wide there, by the looks of it. And then there's the Frank there. He's not too far behind the Slushy there. And there we go. Frank's just set a 142.3. And what's Rufus done on his out lap? Well, that's only his out lap, so that doesn't really matter. It's going to be a matter of what is he going to set. So Frank's fastest lap is a 139.2 on the soft tyres. How close to that is Rufus going to be? That's going to be the question. Right, so Mike Kidd is there, still leading. Willard's still there in second. Peter's still a bit of a way back. But he's coming up to the Carlsberg and the Frank now, just getting past them. And you know, you've got Carlsberg and the Hoyland battling out. Carlsberg has just got past the Hoyland, coming down a lot. Let's just go back and have a look at that one. As they come around this corner to go out that corner much better than Hoyland does. So as they're side by side going down towards the next straight, they can just see the Slushy right behind them, coming down them at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Now Carlsberg is ahead, so Carlsberg has now taken the lead from the Hoyland. That drops Hoyland down to second place. And there's the Stealthy there in 8th, the Farrick there in 9th. Black Farrick is gaining ground gradually on the Stealthy. He is trying to, but Farrick has got a second penalty now to serve, so that's going to cost him a little bit. Sorry, Mike here still has the lead. He's going strong. He's got a good lead, but he's still got a pit anyway. He's still got a pit. Once he takes his first pit stop. Willard there, still in second place. He's still doing pretty. He's still up for taking the lead, and when Mike goes into the pits possibly. Peter there in third. He's just running nice and smoothly. Frank there, he's setting 142, 143 currently. And Rufus with a 140.2 currently on those soft tyres. He is running 2 to 3 seconds quicker than the Frank at the moment. So when you're looking at that gap, the gap is coming down to between them. So soon enough, the Rufus will be, I think the Rufus may be trying to take that fastest lap if he's able to. Well, if he's able to hit it. What is he? Nope, he's down on his time there. So, but yeah. Anyway, so he is gaining quite quickly on the Frank. So soon they will be battling for fourth place. And then there's an 11th lap. We got the Colesberg leading it in 6th place for the GR4s against Hoyland, who's trying to chase him down to get that lead back from get that place back from him. But Colesberg is on the mediums, Hoyland is on the hards, so it's gonna, unless Colesberg has a massive off, it's gonna be very difficult for the Hoyland to get that position back at the time being, because Colesberg is on the faster tyre. Right, there is the Stuffy, they're just coming out the final corner. He's probably about 4 or 5 seconds maybe behind Hoyland at the moment, with the Farrick there on those medium tyres trying to chase down the Stealthy. There is every chance. Well, Farrick should be, if he can do some good laps, he should be able to close that gap on to Stealth. Anyway, Mike is still carried on, still not pitted yet. With Willard still there in second. Slushy Peter there, still in third, going a bit wide there. Frank there, still in fourth. And Rufus there, still in 5th place, still trying to play catch up. He is definitely catching up. Well, Frank's just set a 140.8 on those hard tyres. 140.8 on those hard tyres, so that's an amazing time. 140.8 on those hard tyres. And Rufus has just set a 139.3, his fastest lap currently, just a bit slower than the fastest lap currently. So he is going for it, trying to catch the Frank up, and that gap is getting shorter and shorter as the laps come on. But looking at that, we are on that. Oh, looks like Frank's struggling a little bit there. It's going to help the Rufus there a little bit. As we're talking about laps, we are on lap 15 currently. We are just over 25 minutes through the 50-minute race, so we are about nearly halfway. 25. Yeah, we are halfway through the race now, if my calculations are right. Yeah, we are halfway through, because it's a 50-minute race and we're 25 minutes, so yeah, we are halfway through the race. So probably another same amount of laps, maybe, or might not be as many as that. Could be another 15, possibly. Might be a little bit less. But anyway, look at me, Rufus there. Just talking about Frank, and you just look at Rufus. He is literally on Frank's backside now, looking to try and catch. Well, Frank's just set a 1:44.0, and obviously Rufus set a 1:39.5. So that's like 5 seconds. Well, it's like 5 seconds quicker in that lap, Rufus was. So that's why he's gained so much time on the Frank. Anyway, so he's still got the Hoyland. Carlsberg still needing it for the GR4s. He's got the Hoyland still chasing him down. Let's go on board with the Hoylands. So the Mighty Kid has finally gone into the pits on lap 15 for them. Obviously the GR4 guys are only on the 13th lap. And Carlsberg is going for it. You can see right in front with the Hoyland there, trying to close that gap on the Carlsberg. As they come onto the tunnel for the next time. Looks like Hoyland definitely got through that bit a little bit better than the Carlsberg did. And he's definitely trying to put even though Carlsberg's on the faster tyre, he's definitely Hoyland's definitely doing himself proud here, trying to put pressure onto the Carlsberg. But I think to be honest, I think Hoyland does have the faster car in a straight line, I believe, compared to the Electra, which I think is quite slow out the corners. And there are the blue flags coming now as well. There is the Willard there. He's in the Willard there in first position now. Just coming past. It definitely looks like Carlsberg's quite slow out the corners in that car. And Hoyland's got an opportunity here. They're side by side. I'm going to have to come out of this camera now just to look. They are side by side. They've got the slushy there as well. And Hoyland gets that position back. So the Hoyland's back in the lead for the GR4s, with the Carlsberg dropping down to the second for the GR4s. Actually, Hoyland's having a brilliant race here in that car. Delphi there in eighth, in third, obviously. And Farrick has, let's have a look at their times. So Delphi's a 2:05, 2:07. Farrick's a 2:04. He's then consistent 2:04s. So he is gaining time gradually on the Stealthy, but not as quick as he'd want. And the Willard there, he's still Willard in front in the lead now on those medium tyres. There's a Slushy there still in second position. With the Mighty Kid, obviously he's been in the pits, he's dropped down to third. And there is a Frank there in fourth position with the Rufus there. He's dropped off, his pace has dropped off a little bit. He's like dropped 2 seconds a lap. But I think that may be because of tyres and because of obviously lapping the GR4 cars, maybe. You see him come through that corner and just literally all his nearly spinning it, but he's not using traction control here, so he is a bit. But then this race he was on controller for this race, and I know with Rufus when he's on controller he doesn't use traction control when he's on controller, so he prefers it without. He only uses traction control when he's using his wheel. But anyway, so Frank is now into the pits. He's decided it's time to get off those hard tyres. Carlsberg is into the pits, so is Hoyland, so is Stealthy, and that's allowed Farrick to take the lead for the first time for the GR4s. So the Frank is back out, with now the Rufus is ahead of the Frank. That's going to be who's going to be where once Rufus does pit for his medium tyres. Frank is on the medium tyres now. Rufus has still got to run the medium tyres. So they will both be on the medium tyres once Rufus pits for the final time. Mikey still has to run the hard tyres. Peter still has to run the hard tyres as well, and so does Willard. So they've all got to still run it. The only guys who don't have to run the hard tyres now is obviously Rufus and Frank. The other three do have to use the hard tyres. As Willard is doing all he can to stay in the lead. At the moment he doesn't have to worry about anyone behind him. It's like Slushy is just coming through the... And it definitely looks like Peter's lagging has stopped now. And Mikey is there. He's still chasing down. Mikey is chasing down the Peter, looking at the time. So Peter was on a 1:39.8 previous lap, and Mikey's on a 1:39.5. So he's running a little bit quicker. So Farrick has now gone into the pits to get rid of those medium tyres. He hasn't run. He will be on soft tyres now. So where is Farrick going to come out once now he's in the pits? So you got Hoyland and Carlsberg just... Oh, so now looking at it, so now they've been in the pit. So Hoyland is now on the medium tyres and Carlsberg is on the hard tyres. So now Hoyland's got the advantage. So out Farrick, oh no, Farrick's nowhere near to coming out. He's on his way out now. Well, he will be on his way out once he's filled his tank up. But he's on the soft tyres, so he's going to have to try and use those soft tyres to his advantage now to try and close that gap on Stealthy as much as possible. I mean, Rufus has now gone into the pit to get rid of those tyres. So will Frank retake that position off of Rufus? It looks like he probably will. Rufus is just hitting his pit box now, getting those tyres changed. And now he's going to fill up his tank. So where's Frank? Frank is just passing the start finish line. So yeah, so he's only putting a little bit of fuel in, so he's not too far behind. He's not that far behind Frank, but now they are both on the soft tyres, so there's no advantage for either of them. It'll just be a matter of can Rufus close that gap on the Frank or not. So Willard still has the lead on the 21st lap. The Willard still has the lead. It's going to be a matter of when is he going to pit for his final stop. And meanwhile, just behind, you got the Slushy in second, but he is definitely being closed down by the Mighty Kid there. He is about half a second quicker than Peter at the moment, but then Mighty Kid is on the soft, Slushy is on the medium tyres. He is a bit quicker at the moment. He's on for a faster lap here, but he has got the mean Mighty Kid pushing the hell out of that NSX. It's NSX versus NXX, and Mighty Kid is doing all he can to close that gap. Yeah, Mighty Kid is definitely getting closer to the Peter. This is becoming a two-way battle now. Willard does still have the lead. He's got a decent lead over the Peter, but he now has the Mighty Kid. Mighty Kid is chasing down, and he's just at a new fastest lap of a 1:39.111. But Mighty Kid is really pushing it. Slushy goes out a bit wide there, so that's put Mighty Kid even closer to the Peter now. There is Willard there. His tyre wear ain't too bad on those mediums. Mighty Kid's got to, while he's got these soft tyres on, he's got to use that to his advantage. He does have the faster tyre on currently. He's now, looks like he's eyeing up for a pass here. Is he going to do it? They go side by side around this corner. Peter still does have, is just ahead. Oh, Mighty Kid's spun it, lost a bit of traction. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself there. Well, so there's Frank there. Let's have a look. So Mighty Kid is there, and Frank is there. So Mighty Kid is nowhere near. Frank is nowhere near the Mighty Kid. Mighty Kid has a good lead over the Frank, and then the Rufus is there. The Rufus is still going a bit quicker, a little bit quicker than the Frank at the moment, but not too much quicker. I think he is trying to, but they sort of, his times are up and down, same as Frank's times are up and down at the moment, but that's coming from when you're having to pass everyone. But anyway, so he's still Hoyland there. He still leads it for the GR4s. Could he be about to? There's only just under 10 minutes of this race remaining. Could this be a race win for him? Let's not speak too soon, because we know what happens. The commentator says something and it all goes up in smoke. But anyway, so he has dropped the Colesberg now. Yeah, he's dropped the Colesberg massively. The Colesberg is definitely struggling to keep up with the Hoyland. The Stealthy there in 8th place. He's still got a way to go to catch the Colesberg up, but he is on the faster tyre, so he could close that gap if he wants to. and then the Farrick there on those soft tyres. Unfortunately, Farrick has not a car choice because he's just unable to close the gap on Stealthy, unfortunately. So anyway, the Peter has gone into the pits for his final stop. That's allowed the Mikey to take second place. With Frank just coming out the final corner. The Slushy has come out on those hard tyres, so where's Frank? Frank's there, the Slushy. So there's 8 minutes left. Theoretically, the hard tyres are really slow, so Frank may be able to close that gap onto the Slushy and take that third place from him. That is a big possibility here, because there is not much of a gap between the two of them. And there is the Rufus there as well. Could Rufus come into play here as well and take the position of Slushy? We will have to see. But there is only 8 minutes left, so that's probably 4 more laps to go, probably. Well, definitely 4 more laps. So the Willard has now taken to the pits. Is Mikey going to take the lead again? So Mikey is going to start finish straight now. Willard still hasn't hit his pit box. So yes, Mikey does retake the lead. And it's actually going to be quite a good lead because Willard's only just hit the pit box. He's getting his tyres changed. Will he come out in front of Slushy though? That's the question. He's now joining the pit box and he's on his way out. PA is on his way down. He's just past the start finish rate, but the Willard is back out in front of him. And looking at the Frank, he is definitely gaining on the Peter. Let's have a look at Peter's lap times. I have no clue what his last lap was. What last lap he just set. Oh, actually, no, his last lap was 1:58 because that was his out lap after being in the pits. My question is now, Mighty Kid is well ahead. Although Mighty Kid is now going in the pits. Can Willard retake the lead here? Let's just stay, just for the sake of it, let's stay on board with Willard and see, because obviously he's had his final stop, but he is on the hard tyres. Let's just see if he can retake the lead from the Mighty Kid here. Well, I poured myself a drink. And the Willard does retake. No, my kid's on his way out, but it is not enough. Willard retakes the lead from the Mighty Kid. Willard will be very happy there. They managed to get the lead back from the Mighty Kid there, but the Mighty Kid is not that far behind. They are both on the hard tyres, so there is no advantage for either of them. And there is Pete there on hard, so the top three are all on hard tyres now. Whereas you've got the Frank and the Rufus both on the medium tyres. And they are gaining gradually. Let's see, Pete's just set at 141.1. Frank's just set at 141.1. And Rufus just set at 142. So Rufus is definitely gaining on Frank. but I think Frankie's gaining on Peter, but not quick enough. And there's only just under 4 minutes left of this race, so that's quite a big gap there. So I don't think there's going to be enough time for Frank to catch up to Slushy, unfortunately. But you do have these two back to battle for the second position. But they still could see the Willard though. The Willard's just going through the first couple of corners. And now Mike is going to start doing the same. So will Slushy. Oh, Slushy goes out very wide there. That's a bit of a... Thanks, he spins it a little bit there. That's allowed the Frank to close the gap. Oh, Mike, it's gonna... Oh, it's all happening in this last few minutes. Let's just have a... Just gonna have to go and have a look, see what happened to Peter first. Well, he's basically had to avoid the stealthy, and he's gone and spun it. And then the Mike kid... Did you do the same as he's done the last couple times? Coming out of this corner. Yep, he did. Basically, he's done the same as he's done the last few times when he spun. He's lost a bit of track control, unfortunately. And thanks to them two both spinning, that has allowed the Frank to jump from 4th place up to 2nd. So for Frank, all his birthdays will come in one fell swoop here. And that, with all those bits, has that allowed the Ruthless to close that gap? No, he hasn't been able to close the gap at all, unfortunately. There's quite a big gap there between him and Slushy. And with there only being one more lap after this, very much doubt he'll be able to close that gap. Anyway, Willard comes out the final corner to come on to start his final lap of this 50-minute race, of this 29-lap race. So let's have a look, see how the GR4 guys are doing. So Hoyland's still leading for the GR4s, with Colesberg still there in 2nd. Stealthy there in 3rd. And Fight still there in 9th. Oh, look at that tyre wear on his car. I would have just gone into the pits to get a fresh set of tyres. I suppose that was just the last lap. There was probably no point anyway. But anyway, we'll go back up with Willard because he's the one we want to see. He's the one we want to see right now. As he's had a fantastic race here. He's had all the right strategies, done them all in the right way. And he comes down to the final chicane for the final time. To take a victory at Trial Mountain. So big congratulations to him with a flash of the lights. The Frank will be overjoyed with that result after getting 2 positions in the last couple of laps. My Kid takes a third. Slushy takes a fourth place. Looks like we got, yeah. Anyway, Highland takes victory for the GR4 cars. Where is Rufus takes fifth for the GR2s. Carlsberg takes second for the GR4s. Stealth will take third for the GR4s, and Farrick will come home to take the final position for the GR4s. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you to our sponsor, Prop Up and Co. And we will see you next time for round 4, I believe, at Sardinia A. So bye bye for now.